has spent 25 years in the banking industry, serving in various positions, including treasury management, retail, executive, private client, small business, and commercial banking. Prior to banking, Alderman Palazzolo served 3 years as economic and government teacher in the Memphis City Schools. Alderman Palazzolo currently serves as the Senior Development Officer for Rhodes College. That's also his alma mater. He's the past chairman of the board and treasurer for the Germantown Area Chamber of Commerce. He currently serves in the following community organization: the Liberty Bowl Board, Knights of Columbus, Leadership Germantown Alumni Association, the Tennessee Municipal League, Riggs Author Neighborhood Association, and Riverdale PTSA. He's an '86 graduate of Rhodes College, a 2003 graduate of the Rhodes Institute for Executive Leadership, and he was chosen a top 40 under 40 business leader by the Memphis Business Journal in 1998, so you can do the math. His adult daughter, Jenna, currently resides in Franklin, Indiana. A great leader, great man, your mayor, Palazzolo.
Thank you, Bob, for that introduction. And I need to update a little bit of my bio. It also makes me feel a little bit older. So my adult grown-up daughter has made me a grandfather. So I am a grandfather for the first time. Little baby AJ is 8 months old and resides in Franklin, Indiana. And I did leave off that I'm a proud member of the Germantown Kiwanis Club, and a bunch of our Kiwanians are right over here. All right. Well, thank you for allowing me to speak today. I do have my timer ready, and I will be prompt today. As a former chairman of the Chamber of Commerce, I do know how important it is to get you back to work and being productive business owners, and so I'll keep to my schedule today. I want to thank our chairman, Bob Hamilton. I want to also recognize and thank our chair-elect, Chad Gilbert, who's back in the back somewhere. Thank you, Chad. And Janie Day, our everyday executive director who runs the chamber for us. And speaking of chairman, I think we have a few former chairmen here today. If you would just stand and be recognized. I noticed a couple that are here. If you could please, Steve Walensky, also Brian. All right, great. Thank you very much. Thank you for your leadership and service. You know, in 1994, I joined the chamber as a member. It's a very proud day for me because that's where I began my ascension into some form of leadership. And I was a member of many different organizations, but the chamber really helped guide me to be more of a leader in this community. I became an ambassador. Many of you here today are ambassadors. I became a committee chair, then I got on the board of directors, and in 2000 I became chairman of the board, and during that year our board brought forward many different things like Taste of the Town and the sidewalk sale. We purchased our first headquarters as well. We moved from a leased facility. And as I reflect over those times, the best relationships and the best friendships and the best mentoring I've ever received have been from this body alone. And I'd like to take a little bit of my time to recognize three very special friends. I have so many here today, and I may offend a few, but these three have been very special in my 24 or 5 years of, I guess, leadership development. So I'd like to ask Mike Simpson, Janice Hamill, and Richard McBride to please stand real quickly. I know you're here somewhere. I always know Mike is near the back door because, you know, it's historic that he always leaves a little early to get to the golf course. And so I knew you were positioned right where you were, and it was good to see you, Janice. Thank you for all your mentorship. And Richard's known me since junior high school, and so I thank you for all your friendship as well. You know, it's a great day to live in Germantown. It's a great day to operate a business in Germantown as well. It's even a better day to be a leader of 400 of the best employees in the city and in the state of Tennessee. And today, as part of my remarks, I'd like to honor those employees. We've got kind of bursting at the seams crowd today, and thank goodness we brought 15 or so of the team from the city. I'd like to ask our city administrator, Patrick Lawton, just please stand where you are and quickly introduce your team members, because you brought, I don't know who's running the store right now, but
Leslie and Michelle are in charge.
Gotcha.
All right, I'm going to go down the list here. This is Mr. Jason Heisman. He's Assistant City Administrator. Richard Hall, Chief Hall is our Police Chief. Bo Mills is our Director of Public Services. Andy Sanders is Assistant Director, not Public Services, Public Works, in Public Works. Nevada.
Nevada Presley,
Nevada
Nevada Presley, Marketing Manager at GPAC, and Park Kennedy, Development Director at GPAC.
And going around the corner here, Joseph Comas is our Marketing Communications Director. Stacy Newell, Stacy is our Assistant to the City Administrator. Paul Chandler is our Executive Director of the Germantown Performing Arts Center. Which you all know, Mary Gibson, Alderman Gibson, one of our favorite aldermen. Tony Fisher is our IT Director. Phil Rogers is the Director of the Germantown Athletic Club. Lisa Kiefer is our Procurement Director. Steve Walensky is former Chairman of the our HR Director. Steve was a great pickup for us. And Pam Hughes is our Parks and Recreation Director. Ronald Douglas is over the General Services. That's all the plant operations services. So,
Round of applause, please. John Murphy, you're in probation right now as a member of the city from the Bodine School. You have the honor of sitting with all of our city folks today, and we would welcome you to come to work for the city. Patrick, if you could remain standing for a moment, I'd like to present an award to our city staff and tell you a little bit about it. We won the Tennessee Center for Performance Excellence Award, their highest level of excellence in the state this current year. They only give one award per year, and we compete with the likes locally of Methodist Hospital, FedEx, and other large corporations. We're the only governmental body that has been recognized in the last few years to win this award. What this means to the community is this is a process-oriented organization that uses the Malcolm Baldrige principles. We've got 6 or 7 black belt Lean Six Sigma trained employees on our staff, and it's very important to provide you great premium service in our community. As an example of this award, our health club director, Phil Rogers' black belt assignment in his case study, in essence, was to produce a better result in police and fire response time. And so he took that challenge. We were very happy with around a 3.5-minute police response time. He worked with people in the police department. We've lowered that to 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Thank you. You may ask yourself, what does a club director, a gym director know about police services and response time and arresting bad guys? Well, that's not the point. He's a process-oriented expert, and so a different set of eyes in a different department oftentimes gets different and better results. And so we have not had a public opportunity, and today I'm going to speak a lot about economic development here in the city. I thought it'd be a good idea that we recognize our 400 employees and our leader, Patrick Lawton, and present him with the Tennessee Center for Performance Excellence Award of Achievement. Please come forward, Patrick.
thank you. All right.
It is heavy.
And I'll take this back to City Hall. I promise not to drop it.
Now, the part of being an award winner is you have to go back with your Oscar and put it in front of your place setting and let everyone gawk at it.
All right.
Patrick will be available afterwards for pictures with the trophy, so please stay if you will.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you for your service and all of our employees. I can tell you this, with no kidding and with all the heart in the world, our employees are some of the best in the city. You don't have to get behind or kick them in the behind to get them working. They know how to work in our city. Well, I'm going to stick with economic development today, but I want to give you 2 quick facts that relate to public safety before we start, because so many of you do business in this community, because if you're merchants, you know that your customers and your clients are safe in our community. When they come to shop during the holiday season and they move from your shop and move their bags into their cars and move around the community, you know that they're safe and protected, and your business is safe as well. So in this past budget year and in the last 2 years, we've added 10 new police officers and a new police district in the city of Germantown. That police district is primarily focused in the central business district, and so that also allows more concentric circles of service to our residents as well. And also this year, we picked up 6 new firefighters and 3 new police officers that were a result of federal grants. So we're kind of getting to test drive them for 2 or 3 years, free of charge. The federal government, FEMA, is paying for that, and then we will keep them and fund their salaries and such thereafter. I think that's very important for you because, you know, I can give you a great example about public safety and the commitment of Chief Hall and his men and women at GPD. You know, the weekend of the festival here in Germantown, we have 60 or so thousand visitors that come into our city. We put a heavy presence on police protection, especially in that area around C.O. Franklin Park. Well, if you go and look at our police data and our police report for the weekend of the 8th and the 9th of September, we had 1 reported incidence of crime in a city of 40,000 with 60,000 visitors and guests in our city. That's police protection in a city. That's why you do business here. That's why you live here as well. So, the speaker should always take advantage of clapping for drinking. Well, and with even more excitement here in our city, you know, for a small town mayor, it's pretty cool when you get to have 2 great events over a weekend's time span. Last Friday, at around 7:30 in the morning, we officially opened Trader Joe's in Germantown, and we welcomed 4,000 people. Actually went through the cash register. Who knows how many never made it there? And if you looked at any of the reports in the local news, there were some of the display cases had 1 item left. You know, grocery tourism is alive and well in Germantown. We will have people from North Mississippi, Eastern Arkansas, West Tennessee will come to our city, and they will shop, and they will enjoy it, and they will feel safe. We also have Whole Foods, we have Fresh Market, we have Sprouts, we have one of the biggest Krogers in the region as well. And the second big event that occurred Saturday night is we did a ceremonial groundbreaking on the stage of GPAC for the Grove at GPAC. And, you know, proverbially, I know none of this community has been living under a rock, but I will explain to you what GPAC, the Grove at GPAC is. We are going to create a beautiful natural amphitheater directly to the north of the GPAC Performing Arts Center. It's about 1.5 acres there. We'll keep all the trees and the canopy, but we'll put in a hardscape permanent amphitheater stage and some other features there, hookups for food trucks and such. And we really challenged our GPAC friends and their foundation board that the city would come forward with a matching grant of $2 million if they would go out and raise $2 million. Well, Paul Chandler, Park Kennedy, Nevada, and the team have raised, I think, in excess of $2.4 million. And you're not stopping, are you, Paul? No, we are keep going forward.
Today.
So next September, we will open ground at the Grove at GPAC. We'll have outdoor concerts. We'll simulcast inside concerts, outside. We will simulcast things from maybe the Boston Pops or other organizations around the country. That'll be really neat and to really accentuate that corner of our central business district and that corner of our municipal block as well. And then on the heels of that, we'll have a Container Store coming soon, right next to Trader Joe's, and we'll be there for that groundbreaking as well. So some quick statistics for you on your city. We're currently at 94% retail occupancy. So every time you drive around the city, roughly 9.5 out of every 10 bays in a shopping center has a thriving, vibrant business located in that space. You know, almost all of our shopping centers are full at this time, and even the ones that are not, they're planning great new things. I see the Cannons here today as well. They've got great ideas for Carrefour, and I think it's something that we'll hear about more in the future, but you know, in reality, Carrefour is a collection of office space and retail space, and currently the plan that they're bringing forward is just replacing that with the modern version of office, retail space, and some lodging as well. On the commercial occupancy side, we're at 95%. These are historic numbers. I mean, most communities cannot make that type of a claim to have 94 and 95% occupancy. We just look at our town to the east in Collierville. We wish them well, but Avenue Carriage Crossing cannot make that same statement with the vacancies that they have as well. Sales tax collection, we made a real point in 2012 to develop an economic development strategic plan, and that plan said we have got to grow our sales tax revenue, and we do that by creating, again, more vibrancy in our business nodes or our business districts. We have 5 business districts in our city. Roughly in 2012, we were collecting about $5.5 million in sales tax revenue. Fast forward to 2018, we just surpassed $10 million. We actually surpassed $10.5 million in FY18, and we're currently 6% ahead of budget in FY19. Now, what does that mean to you if you are a resident and a taxpayer and you're a commercial interest in this city? We have less reliance on commercial and residential property tax. At one point in time, when I was a young alderman, Back in '04, we pretty much relied on property tax to generate about 65, 66% of our operating budget. Now that figure's somewhere around 55%. So we are actually getting visitors to our community to help pay for great things in our community. We have a lot of health care in Germantown. When you have West Clinic and Campbell Clinic bringing 100,000 visitors to our city each year as patients, they're going to spend some money while they're here. And that's a good thing for us because it keeps our taxes low as they can be. I know my city is vibrant right now economically. When I drive to City Hall each day and I go past the what was formerly an expert tune at close to the intersection of Germantown Road and Poplar that was vacant and almost a desolate site, kind of that blight for about a dozen years. And now we've got a beautiful brand new Domino's there. Now, we probably have too many pizzerias and pizza parlors, but much better than it being an eyesore. And that tells you a little bit about your community, that when people make investment, especially in properties that are long gone and also not so much ones that people want to make an investment in. Now, I would like to share with you a few things about a special project in the city. And before I move forward with that, Jessica Comas, who's our marketing communications manager, would kill me if I didn't point out that she brought with us today one leave behind. So I'd like for you to grab that real quickly. If you are a resident or you're a member of the business community or the Chamber of Commerce, you need to make sure you sign up for Germantown up front. If I can see a show of hands who gets Germantown up front each and every Friday. Okay, this is a very good e-newsletter that tells you about what's going on in your city, in your community. It could be as various as the festivals coming up this weekend, or Night Riders coming up, or it may give you key economic statistics, or there's a road closure, something that's important to you as a community resident or stakeholder. With the time I have remaining, I would like to share with you a case study known as Thornwood in Germantown. How many people are familiar with the new town clock that's close to the corner of Neshoba and Germantown Road? Good. Good show of hands here. I want to give you some things. You might want to jot some of these down because I'm going to give you a bunch of numbers and they're all going to come back around and make a lot of sense here in a moment. Thornwood is a village concept that the city really embraced in the early 2000s as a way to bring more diversity of shopping and residential choice to a community. And the project started roughly about 4 years ago. I wish Spence Ray was here today. He is the principal there, and I saw him when I was going to City Hall this morning around 7. He was walking the property, and they're feverishly trying to get completed by the end of this calendar year, and they'll be close to that. Well, if you look at that particular project, the city of Germantown is made up of roughly 12,500 acres of land. That particular parcel of land is about 28 acres. So if I give you an analogy, the tip of a fingernail compared to the body of a community makes up that small parcel. It's about 0.002% of the total mass. So a very, very small amount. If we were to leave that land currently zoned the way it was before it was rezoned, it would be zoned as vacant property, agricultural. It would produce about $30,000 a year in taxes and revenue for the people of Germantown. If we were to zone that, this is where you want to write these things down. I see Ron's doing that. If we were to rezone that single family, which is the predominant zoning for the city of Germantown, so that's a single family house roughly on a half acre or less of property, that would produce revenue of approximately $107,000 a year for the people of Germantown. If we were to zone it as a PUD, which you may be familiar with Somerset, Somerset is the development right next to Thornwood. It was part of the master plan. There are about 43 lots. I think they top out at a little over $1 million each and almost sold out. If we were to rezone that whole 20 acres to the Somerset PUD example, it produces about $341,000 in revenue for the people. As a village, with one parcel left in that 5-phase project, the one phase that's left is the staging area where they put all the equipment. That will probably one day be office, medical, or perhaps more retail. That income produced by the village concept produces $1.16 million, so $1,160,000 on 28 acres of land. Now, why is this important to a community like Germantown, which is landlocked, fully annexed, and running out of space to build on? And we want to make sure our taxes stay low and stay stable. Why is that important? That revenue alone produces almost the amount of money, and that includes sales tax, I put in there as well. Our staff calculated sales tax for that particular spot. That project alone will pay for our new elementary school at Forest Hill and Poplar Pike. That's amazing, and that's recurring revenue that happens every year. So 28 acres, less than 0.02% of the land mass in the city just bought you a brand new elementary school. Amazing. Now, if you want to look at it for one-time expenses, we could buy 29 police cruisers. We could buy one fire truck at about $1.1 million per year, every year. Those are capital items. Pretty amazing. From the school standpoint, right now we did an annex at Riverdale, where we did an addition to Riverdale. It cost about $12 million. We're also having our budget an expansion at Houston Middle, if needed, in 2 years with no tax increase. We're also doing $200,000 a year toward the Houston High School field house and auditorium improvements. All three of those projects, the interest carry and debt service, can be carried by that 128 acres alone. And yet that 128 acres really doesn't impact where any of us live in the city of Germantown. If anything, it'll create even greater amount of excitement and sense of place next to Paul Chandler's The Grove. How cool is it going to be when Moondance, which is a concept of Itabena, they're moving to Thornwood. They'll have a white linen tablecloth type of restaurant. You'll go there and have dinner and then go to a show at GPAC. Now that is a really neat opportunity in a city of our size that we can never say has happened in the past. Those things are all made possible by a lot of good planning in the city. And you know, it takes literally a village of people to put this together. We've had great partners with the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber and the city have never been more well connected than they are right now. We have continued our sponsorship. We do projects together all the time. The Chamber has been instrumental in landing grants from Shelby County, you know, developing a website, doing events together, and you know, I'm blessed that we have that great relationship. So I'll close with this, and I'll be glad to take any questions, and I've got about 2 more minutes on my timer. The economy's strong in Germantown. You know, we brought a lot of services to you. Actually, we lowered taxes this year. I'll repeat that. We lowered taxes this year. Collierville raised taxes this year. We're able to get, we plan in 5-year budgets. We're able to get that 5-year budget plan stretched to a 6th year. We're able to bring you that new school. We're able to bring you those 10 officers. We're able to bring you an ambulance service. We're able to bring you a new 100-foot hook and ladder truck, a new fire pumper, all with being able to do that and reduce taxes at the same time. And it only happens because we have a strong business community. We've got a great partnership with everyone in this room. You know, I always like to say when we report sales data at our Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting, you know, do your part and shop local, because it does stay home here in Germantown. The local sales tax we collect stays right here in Germantown. So if you live here, please invest by shopping here. If you don't live here, then buy something here. And by all means, you know, I've always understood in my 25 plus years being involved with the Chamber of Commerce, it is an area Chamber of Commerce, and we fully respect that. And if you're outside of the city, we welcome you as well, and you're part of this organization, and know that you always have a friend here at City Hall as well. So in closing, I'd like to say thank you to you, the business community. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I appreciate my service on the board of the Chamber, and I look forward to another 4 years, hopefully, as the leader of this city as well. So thank you very much.